another episode of Lunch and Learn. And I'm Brittany.
And I'm Alex.
All right. And through the magic of everything that is YouTube, we are back in the same clothes with the same lunch because we missed a recording with the holidays. So we are doubling up. So, Alex, what are you eating again? Remind everybody.
Yeah, so I am working on a tuna salad made with mustard instead of mayo, and then a big bowl of cucumbers, and then a sleeve of rice cakes.
Yes, she has enough rice cakes over there to last for a few recordings. So I think we're good.
Yes.
Um, And I'm still over here with plenty left for this recording of some brown rice, some veggies. I've got onion, zucchini, broccoli, mushrooms, carrots, and some shrimp and sirloin. So, still working with the same lunch. So, we
Delish.
have, yeah, so we've got some more questions from everyone that we want to dive into on this episode. So, I'm going to throw it to you, Alex, first. Um,
Okay.
all right. Now, we're getting close to the new year. Probably will be the new year by the time this comes out. So, this is an important question for this time of year. What, if you had to pick, what is the most important thing to focus on when you're getting started with a nutrition program or when you're really starting to dial in your nutrition for the first time, taking control of your health? What's the most important thing to focus on?
Okay, guys, are you ready? Take baby steps. I know, okay, hear me out. I know a lot of you might want to go from 0 to 100 overnight, but time and time again, the most successful people that I see or that gain the most success, I should say, take a baby step. And it might seem so small that it's like, how is this even going to affect me? And the reason for that is that one step at a time becomes reps. And the more reps that you can get successfully, that's where you then start gaining progress. So if you were able to just eat one meal at home for the first week, as opposed to going out to lunch, that is automatically giving you a level up than where you were last week. And then the next week you can build up on that. You can start your day out with water instead of coffee first thing. Sure, still have your coffee. I'm just saying, start with water. So those small steps, it's still an improvement on what you were 2, 3 weeks ago. And then as you continue doing that, you're adding in more new habits, more new healthy things. And then before you know it, you're 5 pounds down, 10 pounds down, you're losing inches, you're having to go buy new jeans, but it doesn't feel like um, a the words that I'm looking for is that it's this overwhelming thing, where you go so fast and then you automatically come to a halt because it was too fast. You couldn't keep your legs going for how fast you were running. So the most important thing is just start small and then build up on that. I know it sounds elementary, but hey, it works. What kind of advice do you give for new people?
And just exactly that. Like, and I say it in lots of different ways to different people, but exactly that. Like, for all the best reasons, um, we start off too much too soon. Like, we're so excited, and you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
like tamper someone's excitement. Like, you want to feed into that, right? Like, people are so excited to like be working with you and make this change, and they want to like shoot out of the gate. Um, but then you have to like, slow them down. And I don't know where I picked this up. Honestly, I don't know if I made it up myself or if I read it somewhere, but what it tends to resonate with people is I talk about going on a road trip and I say, okay, the destination is your goal. And we want to get there as quickly and as safely as possible, just like when you're on a road trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always say we want to go just over the speed limit, right? We don't want to go so fast because if we go too fast, we're going to wreck. Something bad's going to happen. We're going to either get pulled over or we're going to crash, right? Something bad is going to happen. But if we go too slow, we're going to get distracted and give up. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to go just over the speed limit and get there quickly and happy. But if we go too fast too soon, we're going to crash and burn. And that's what ends up happening. People go too fast too soon and it's not sustainable. And so I love that. The best advice is just make small, sustainable change. And it's not sexy, it's not flashy, but that's what works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I love that analogy. And what you just said brings me to my next question. Okay, what is the best diet? I want to know.
There
Is there
isn't one.
one?
There
Oh,
isn't one.
shoot.
I think one of the best things I can tell everyone is like, look for these red flags. If you see any of these things, run. If someone is telling you the next best thing in weight loss, the next best thing here, it doesn't exist. Now, maybe in the medical community, there can be a breakthrough in the medical community to treat a specific disease. That can exist. There can be a breakthrough in the pharmacological world to treat something. That can happen. But when it comes to fat loss and weight loss, there is no next best thing. The science is here, and we know how it works. We have known for millennia how it works. Um, there is no next best thing. So when you see a breakthrough of like a fat burning this and a extra hydrogen water here or there, that stuff is all red flags galore. The best diet is the diet that you can stick with. So if you enjoy eating a higher fat diet and you like those types of foods, then that's the best diet for you. If you enjoy eating a higher carbohydrate diet, then that's the best diet for you. Period. That's the best diet, the one that you can stick with. Period.
Yes, I
Yeah.
completely agree. And this is something that I preach all the time. The best diet is the one that you can consistently do and that fits your lifestyle. Just along the lines of if you prefer high fat foods or high carb foods, stick with that. If the diet requires you to cook a million fresh meals every single week, and that's just not sustainable for your lifestyle because you're a busy mom of two and you're always on the run, then that's just not going to be the diet for you. So just finding where you're at and figuring out the diet that fits your lifestyle is actually going to be the best, because there's also something that I've always said is that the long road is actually the shortcut, especially when it comes to diets or something like that, where, you know, if you try to take the shortcut, more than likely you're going to take that shortcut over and over and over and over and over again. And this could just be with, what you said about weight loss being the next best thing, the most fat burning, things like that. If you try that and then you get to the same place, well, then you just tried something that just didn't work. So if you just go with something that is sustainable and that fits your lifestyle, more than likely you're going to get there faster than if you tried that something new, brand new, flashy, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like one of my favorite things, like when someone says, I'm going to do low carb because it worked for me before. I'm like, say that sentence again because it worked for you before. I'm like, and why are we here if it worked for you before? Like that makes no
Yeah.
sense to me at all. It did not work for you if you were here looking to lose the same 50 pounds that you lost before. It did not work for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Love, yes.
That's always
Yeah.
mind-boggling to me. Okay. This is another one that we oftentimes get, and I'd love to hear your take on it. Can I
Mm-hmm.
have can I have a cheat day?
Absolutely, you can have a cheat day, but here, but it comes with some I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but you can, and how you can do that is by actually working it into your goals. So I totally believe that all food can fit. But all food might not fit at one time. And what I mean by that, is that I can have a slice of cake on my birthday, but I might not be able to have cake and alcohol and pizza and chips, and on and on and on. I might not be able to have that all in the same day. So we do have to be a little bit choosy here, where we try to make sure that we are balancing the rest of our meals, trying to prioritize protein, um, not going too super crazy, but all foods do fit. So we don't really need to cheat on anything here, because you're not necessarily cheating. You're just learning how to enjoy foods that are part of life in a very balanced way that allows for moderation, that still allows you to have those things. And then at the end of the day, you don't feel like you are doing anything wrong. You're not feeling like you're just not doing anything wrong, more or less. So you can have a cheat day, but do so in a way that still is conducive to your goals. Um, What do you think? Is that yet? Do you agree?
Yeah, I always I always tell people you want to lose weight, or if it's not weight loss, if weight loss isn't your goal, you, whatever your goal is, you want to change your life the way you live your life. Otherwise, it's not going to
Mm,
work. Um, so, all of these people who, again, for the right reasons, set out to do a whole 30 or a 75 hard or whatever these challenges are, I want to know what happens on day 31, what happens on day 76, like what happens when all of these things are over. Um, because, when it comes to can I have a cheat day, can I have a day off, whatever, if you, whatever you're doing does not align with the way you live your life, the changes you're making are not going to stick. So why are you
yeah.
trying to cheat? Cheat, it's a word, I think it's semantics, but it's a word that I have a problem with. Why are you trying to cheat from something that you're trying to do to better your life? You always want to change your life the way you live your life. So the issue is, how are you living your life every day? That's what you need to modify. And
Mm-hmm.
just it goes back to exactly what you're saying. You need to modify the way you live your life. And um, it's this is something that someone said to me one time. It's like the vegetarian goes into a restaurant. They don't even look at the meat on the menu because that's who they are. They're not even
Oh,
tempted
yeah.
by the meat on the menu. And that's how you have to think about yourself. You're not even tempted by those other things because that's not who you are anymore. And that's how you have
Yeah.
to you have to change who you are. And it's not that you're never, like you said, going to have cake and alcohol in one day, but you have to slowly start to change who you are as a person. And until you're able to do that, these changes are likely not going to stick. It doesn't happen overnight. Behavior change takes a very long time. But once you can start to change who you are and your core and your ethos as a person, just like how the vegetarian doesn't even, they're not tempted by the steak because that's not who they are. When you can start to change who you are as a person, that's when it really starts to stick. And then you don't
Yeah.
need a cheat day because you're not tempted by it. The vegetarian doesn't go, I want a cheat day so I can eat a porterhouse steak. No, they're not tempted by that. So once you can start to change that, you don't even need a cheat day.
No, and I
Yeah.
agree. Changing your mindset. I can't tell you how many times I do the exact same thing. Granted, I'm not vegetarian, but I go into a restaurant and there's all those things on the menu and I'm not tempted by it. I think one is that those some of those foods don't fit my lifestyle, but two, I know that I can have any of those foods, but since I know I can have any of those foods or how, yeah, then I don't necessarily want them.
Yeah.
There's not that temptation. There's not that desire. It's not like that rebel thing. It's like when somebody says don't touch that button and then you want to touch that button. Like I know I can have anything and so sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but most of the time I don't. Type of thing. But I love what you just said about becoming who you want to be, and then the
Yeah.
rest is not tempted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You have to like and I'll give credit to if you know like Bob Harper from Biggest Loser fame back in the
Yeah.
back in the day. That show had its own problems. But
Mm-hmm.
he was on a podcast one time and I remember him saying you have to, when you really want to change who you are, you have to divorce the person you once were. And I remember thinking about that and how powerful that is. Like when you really want to change your behavior, you have to divorce that person that you once were. It's not like, oh, I'm slowly making change. It's like, okay, yes, you're slowly making change, but divorce that thinking. Like, really make a line in the sand of like, we are not thinking like that anymore. This is a new way of thinking, and we're going to really change from today moving forward. This is a new way of thinking. And we all make mistakes. Like, that's okay, but like a new way of thinking moving forward. And I think really when you can do that, big things can happen in your life. So, yeah. And then
Wow.
you don't need a cheat day.
No, no, not at
Yeah.
all. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So I think we covered a lot of good questions today and got
Yeah.
some good answers. What do you think?
I think so too. Yeah. What do you say we do it again next week?
I'm down. I'll see you
All right.
there.
All right. Take care,
Bye,
guys.
guys. Hey, everyone. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to get more content on nutrition, health, and wellness. Thank you for watching.